Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to draw this sketch again after several months and see how I have improved. I say several months because the number depends on how you look at it, but before explaining that, let me offer you some options to how you can watch this video. If you want to skip this introduction part and just jump right into the drawing bit, you can jump to this time code and watch me drawing and occasionally talking about things. Or if you don't want to hear me talking at all, I cannot blame you. Just jump to this time code and you'll see a 2 or 3 minute time-lapse video of the whole drawing. Okay, let's continue with the people who stayed. Now the title of this video is most likely going to be My Art Progress in 7 months. But first I wanted to write my art progress in 100 hours, but it may be misleading. It might sound like there are just 5 or 6 days between these two drawings. There's not, they are 10 months apart, but technically yes, there's 100 hours of practice between them, and the first one is a sketch I made in my 73rd hour, and today I'm at my 181st, so it's 100 hours give or take. And the reason why I say 7 months instead of 10 is that I took a 3 months break in this period, so I don't want to judge myself too harshly, and for that I say 7 months. I know 100 hours of practice is a measly number for 7 months, but I'm lazy. There's no way around it. I have been lazy all my life and it's not going to change anytime soon, but I hope. Okay, let's start the drawing. I think I can draw without marking some key points on the skeleton, but I don't want the second one's measurements to be so much different from the first one. And I did take these points when I first sketched 10 months ago. So let's even the playfield for past me and present me. And I know I have to give up these little cheats or I'll never be able to draw from imagination. But you'll see, for my next drawing project, I won't even look at a skeleton. I can't find the exact location of the spine in my first tries. If I'm going to continue to use the skeleton, it's going to be because of this. For the ribs and the hip bone, I can fairly judge the right place, but for the spine, I have to spend a few guesses before I find the right place. And I mostly drew figures from dead ahead or 3/4 view, but almost never from the back. When you're drawing the figure from the front view, it's not that important where the spine is. So that's a thing I have to correct. I'd better add some back drawings in my schedule. I have to find my weaknesses and try to improve them. Well, that's what they say anyway. The hip bone is tilted from left to right. The left side is lower. I have to consider that. Actually, this figure is a bit static. If you have seen my latest videos, you know that I have been drawing a lot of Spider-Man figures, and the amount of action and fluidity in those figures, I'm a bit used to that kind of motion right now, and compared to those figures, this one is just too firm. For my next video, I'm going to take a Spider-Man sketch I made 3 months ago, and I'm going to draw that again, and that figure is very much mobile, has too many moving parts, legs, arms all over the place, a classic swinging Spidey. I don't know whether I could draw that. I don't even know I can draw this one for that matter, but I am trying. The parts in the human body that I wasn't expecting to have this much problem is the location of the arms, the elbows. I still cannot place them in the right place, and I figured out why. It's because of foreshortening. It happens most at the arms. They are the most mobile parts in the human body, so in every different stance, in every different pose, the arms' locations are different. And I haven't still started to study the foreshortening. I can't draw a still hanging arm yet. First I have to crack that, then I'll take a swing at foreshortening. Oh, that's a mistake. The man is looking down, so the facial features should be a little below. I was curious why the man had so long face. Okay, let's carry these features a bit. That's it, I guess. The thing I especially want to draw good on the human body is these muscle groups that are intertwined with the ribs. When I was a kid, I used to read Conan comic books, and I was in awe of the drawings of John Buscema. He always drew these muscles beautifully. These add a wonderful touch to the human drawings. I tried to learn how to draw these from an anatomy video series, but the teacher was awful, to say the least. That took my enthusiasm right away. I've been looking at Burne Hogarth's drawings lately, and not studying, just looking, and hope to do more than looking in the near future. And maybe I'll crack these muscles because they add so much to the sketch. For these ab muscles, how Burne Hogarth draws them is a little bit different than the modern day artists. He's an old-fashioned artist, and if you look at the bodybuilders of that era, for example Arnold's abs, and compare them to today's bodybuilders, it seems like today people have extra 2 ab muscles just where the rib cage ends. But in Hogarth's drawings and the people of that era, they have 6 packs, and the first 2 are very much distinctive, very huge. I saw this in an anatomy book. There was even a headline saying, is it 6 packs or 8 packs? I haven't decided how to draw these yet, 6 or 8. I tend to draw the extra first 2, but I think I'll choose which one's easier. For the legs, I'll just do some educated guesses. I mean, not 100% winging it or really knowing which muscle is where. I'm in between these right now. I'm drawing this image because this tells me that a person who I'm facing directly, they have their calf muscles higher on their right leg on the outside and lower on the inside. And the round protruding bone, the ankle bone, is lower on the outside and higher on the inside, and vice versa for the other leg. This is very apparent in Burne Hogarth's drawings. Maybe I'll show one of his sketches when I'm editing this video. Something tells me that the arms are not how they are supposed to be again. Well, whatever. This muscle group that extends from the back of the ear to the clavicle, which is called the sternomastoid, is one of the tricky ones. It always changes depending on the rotation of the head, the degree of rotation of the head. Right now, I'm just at the educated guess phase for this too. I am going to try to master it because it really bumps up the figure. I'm not drawing any hands. I'm extremely weak when it comes to hands. I'm just wigging them. Well, okay, this is the end result. It's not very good, I know. Maybe it's not even mediocre. But comparing to myself, yeah, there is a progression. Satisfactory or not for a 10-month period or for 100 hours of practice, well, I leave it up to you. What do you say? I really want to read your thoughts. And now, as I look at the drawing, I can see the shortcomings of it. For example, the arms are so short, my constant mistake. But I want to stop here. I made this drawing in about 45 minutes. I don't want it to take more than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour is the time I'm allowing myself to make a decent sketch. No more than that. Okay, that's it for today. If you like this, please consider giving a thumbs up and maybe subscribing. I'd very much appreciate it. I want this channel to get bigger. That would be a huge incentive for me to keep drawing. And now I'm leaving you with the time-lapsed version of this whole video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.